My name is Daniel Preshaw and I'm with His House. We do real estate sales, property management, and leasing all throughout northern Colorado. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Today I want to tell you about what coverages you should have in your landlord insurance policy. So let's start off with number one. Number one is dwelling coverage. Pretty simple. It's the main coverage that you want to have in place for your investment property. It's going to cover the primary structure. There's a lot of different types of insurance policies as it relates to the dwelling. Some are replacement cost policies, some are actual cash value policies. You'll hear acronyms of RCV and ACV for those two different types of coverages. But in any case, the thing that you need to do is make sure that you have the amount of dwelling coverage updated on a regular basis. So every year or two, you should check in with your insurance agent and understand the right value of your house, and then also update the policy accordingly so that if there is a loss, you have enough money to cover the dwelling. Number two is other structures. Other structures would be things such as garages, outbuildings, detached sheds, and fences. So other structures covers anything that is a man-made detached structure. Number three is personal or premise liability coverage. So this type of coverage is super important for you because you want to make sure that you're covered from a liability standpoint. So in the event that someone gets hurt on your property and tries to sue you, you will have enough coverage in place. Typically $500,000 is the amount that our insurance agent experts recommend. Number four is personal property coverage. If you have an appliance in your house that breaks, or a washer and dryer, or you have some personal property that might be stored in a locked area of your home, this is coverage that would kick in to help replace those lost items. Personal property is what it's called. Number five is loss of rents. Loss of rents is super important. So if there is a covered claim, and let's just say, for example, heaven forbid, that your house burns down to the ground. If you have loss of rents coverage in place, that's going to cover rental income that you lose during the period in time which the property is being rebuilt. So that's a pretty important coverage that we have, that we recommend our owners keep. It's an optional coverage, but ask your insurance agent about it because we've seen it pay out in a number of different instances, and it's really important to be able to recuperate that lost rent. Number six is vandalism. Vandalism is pretty self-explanatory, but it's something that you should consider and ask your insurance agent about. Of course, it just covers situations in which somebody vandalizes your home, the tenant or somebody else. Number seven is building codes. Building codes change from time to time, and so having building codes coverage as an optional coverage is important because drip edging, for example, wasn't required 10 years ago for houses, but now it is. And so you want to make sure that, as building codes change, you have the right coverage in place to rebuild the property to the current code. Number eight is loss assessment. Loss assessment could be, in my opinion, one of the main add-on optional coverages that you would want to consider as a landlord. So loss assessment is mainly for condos, townhomes, or duplexes that fall within a homeowners association. So the way that HOAs work is their insurance deductibles in the event of a loss are typically really high. So let's just say a hailstorm comes through northern Colorado and it wipes out the roofs on all of the condos in your complex that you own a property in. Well, what happens is the HOA is going to file an insurance claim under their master insurance policy, and there's going to be a really big deductible that they're going to have to pay. Well, what happens in a lot of situations is the HOA is going to spread that deductible out over the amount of owners that own properties in that complex, and then they're going to bill you with what's called a special assessment. Super fun. So you might walk to the mailbox one day, you open it up, get the mail out, and you open this letter that says, "Dear Mr. Homeowner, you now owe us $3,500 in a special assessment because we had to file a claim on our condo complex. Sorry, but the amount's due 6 months from now." So it's pretty unfortunate when that happens, and we've seen it happen in a number of different cases. And we've also seen loss assessment coverage pay out on the owner's side to cover those special assessments. So huge deal. There was one that we just had that I think paid $3,500 for this owner. So it was a big deal. It's a lot of money that you could be out if you don't have the right insurance coverage on your property. Loss assessment coverage is what it's called. Number 9, sewer and water backup. So in the event that there's a water or sewer backup in your house, this coverage is optional. $5,000 to $10,000 is about the amount of coverage you can get on a typical landlord policy. Certainly something you should look into. Renter's insurance is not necessarily one that's included in a landlord policy, but one that you should recommend that your renters have. So it's pretty cheap, 10 to 35, 40 bucks a month that the renter pays, and it's going to cover loss of use for a situation in which the tenant is displaced. It'll cover their personal property and liability on their end. So pretty important as well to have. So you're probably thinking about this time, Daniel, oh my gosh, you're the expert in so many different things. Wow, we're impressed. Well, I wish I were, but I'm not. I actually tapped into my good friend Chris Lucio with Allstate Insurance, and I am going to post his information and a link to his website as part of this video. And I hope you'll reach out to him and ask him questions or use him as a resource. He provides all sorts of different types of insurance, from the home and auto side to motorcycles and all of these other types. So I hope that you'll take a minute, just reach out to him and ask questions if you have any about your rental property or otherwise. As always, I hope that we recommend, regardless of who it is, that you use an expert to ask questions to. So take this information from me. I'm passing this along from my good friend Chris, but reach out to your insurance agent expert who can tell you the right coverage for your own rental property. And if we can be a resource, as always, I hope you'll take the time to give us a call or send me an email or reach out to us. Our website is right here. It's hishousepm.com. Thanks a lot for watching today.